Welcome in, Evan Marinofsky alongside John Zannis, and we're talking about Game 2 between the Bruins and the Canes. Canes win this one, but instead of the game, we're talking about what was said after the game. Seems to be making a lot of waves. Evan, you kind of, you're at the forefront of this. You threw out a little tweet there. It really caught fire. Tuukka Rask, for those who haven't heard it, and I'm sure you will, Tuukka Rask said it doesn't really feel like playoff hockey right now. There's no fans. It feels like an exhibition game. And he's catching a bit of heat for it, and I understand why. This isn't the type of thing you really should say after a loss because it sounds like an excuse. But, Evan, right or wrong, Tuukka catching heat right now?
In a city like Boston, you can't even come close to saying something like that and not expect to get some heat for it. I mean, the minute he said it, I was like, this is going to go over horrendously. I mean, this is talk radio dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Felger and Maz type material. This is absolutely something
those guys are,
those guys are going to have an entire 4-hour show on, maybe the whole week. I mean, when he said that, I mean, Rask is very open. He's very candid. He's very laid back. And I think truthfully, he was just kind of trying to talk about how the atmosphere just didn't feel like a normal playoff game. And it's understandable. I mean, it doesn't. There's no fans. He's 100% right. But it's just something you don't say, especially after a loss. If you want to say it after a win, maybe you can get away with it. But after a loss like that, you can't say that. And so he's getting ripped for it. I mean, I tweeted that, and within minutes, I had 100 or so just people replying, quote tweeting it. I mean, my mentions right now are a dumpster fire of anti-Rask, and everyone's just saying start Halak, and I think it's a little impulsive.
And that's the thing. That's the problem. Is again, Tuukka's a polarizing figure as is because he can let up 2 goals in any game, and immediately the yank Rask, get him out of there. This has been following him his whole career. There's something like a pheromone or something he gives off that just makes people angry, which makes no sense because he's been an elite goaltender.
Exactly.
And want to blame him for stuff. And now he's just given, and again, this is really just noise, but he's given people in the Twitter sphere and Felger and Maz and the radio just more reasons to hate on him, which again adds pressure. Maybe not actual pressure. Maybe Rask probably doesn't give a shit. But these guys, it is going to create an environment where now he's got to go out and play a good game, and then all of suck up Bruins Twitter is going to be like, see, and we're going to have this thing.
He doesn't care.
Looks like he doesn't care. We've done this. So I've seen this movie.
What's so funny, John, is the reason I'm sure of it. The reason people do not like Rask is because they were used to Tim Thomas for a few years, who made acrobatic saves, who was crazy in the net. I've said this so many times. Right? Rask is very poised. He's well positioned. He's actually just an elite goalie who positions himself well to shots. So the reason a lot of these saves don't look big is because he's in position for them. Now, he's been shaky of late. He has been shaky in these first 2 games. He was shaky in the round robin. We also have to remember it's his 4th complete game. It's not like this guy has played a ton of hockey. Right. So you have to also give him the benefit of the doubt on that. Nobody will, but you have to. And I think that, in these games, he's been shaky. And I think that's something that is now adding fuel to this fire of, they just lost. The 3 goals were snipes. He hasn't looked great in the round robin. He didn't look amazing in game 1. He's been shaky with his rebound control. And now it's time to start Halak. And there was already questions about starting Halak because it was a back-to-back. And now people are going, now they have to start Halak. You don't have to start Halak. Rask is fine. It is fine. They lost a game. The series is 1-1. I know that's not what people want to hear, but it's the truth. It's not time to panic quite yet, even though I said that after 1 round robin game, but it is not time to panic yet.
You were channeling your inner Roberto Luongo there, describing Rask's play versus Thomas, because that was the debate being had back then.
Yes.
Everyone's freaking out over Tim Thomas, and Luongo's like, I make it look easy, and this guy's flopping around like a fish.
That was the moment the series, the Canucks lost the series. So maybe I just lost.
I was supposed to pump his tires. I remember the press conference there too, because Tim Thomas is just banging his placard on the podium while he's talking. You just keep hearing thud, thud. I didn't realize I was supposed to pump his tires, but that was a great moment. So again, imagined or not, little pressure for Rask. There's no way Halak is playing in the playoffs unless something drastic happens here.
I wouldn't say no way, but I don't think there's a chance it's because of this quote.
It's not because of this. This is ludicrous. Tuukka would have to look like Swiss cheese for the next 2 games. They go down 3-1 and he doesn't look like himself. Sure, theoretically, sometimes goalies need mental health days. They're kind of weird dudes to begin with. But I mean, it would have to be desperate times for Rask to come out of the net. So everybody at home, just chill out.
It's fine.
Drown out the noise. Think of the context. He didn't say this maliciously, and by no means, and I'm not an apologist by any means, but Rask didn't say this because he doesn't care. He's just honest. You know, it's honesty bordering on stupidity sometimes. He just says whatever, and to him, it's nothing.
Also, John, what's amazing is we're in the midst of a pandemic. Isn't it fun to be able to overreact about every little thing that goes on in sports? It's amazing. This is fun.
Yeah.
And so I think
as soon as I saw the tweet, I was like, oh, goody, you know.
people are feeding off this. And so, you know, it's fun to be able to react to this stuff. I don't think he was thinking when he said it, though. And I think I don't think he really cares. I think
Agree.
Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, to maybe turn off, if you're not into this debate, turn off your radio tomorrow is what I would advise people.
Just like that.
All right, for Evan Marinofsky, I'm John Zannis. We will have more on this series throughout the playoffs. Game 3, Saturday at 12.